Ready to hit the pause button on your parenting fails? Ready to feel better about your parenting? Welcome to Parenting Pause, the podcast, where all of you is welcome. I'm Leslie Potter, the founder of the Pure Joy Way, a mother, a parent coach, and a fellow traveler on this journey to wake up in our parenting. And I believe together we can make this a better world for ourselves and our kiddos. The greatest gift I ever received in my life was the honor of becoming a mother. I waited until I was 44 years old. I had been a wild, crazy bohemian most of my life, and I kind of forgot to be a mother, as strange as that sounds. I was having such a good time, and I just forgot. But this niggling urge, this niggling calling, this niggling piece in me kept calling me to be a mother. And it was quite a gift that I was able to become a mother, because my journey was one of adoption and I was a single mom. And fortunately, I was able to go to China and adopt my daughter as a single mother. And I will never forget the moment that they handed her to me. It was pretty overwhelming on a emotional level after waiting so many years. And as she came into my arms, I received the most amazing gift of a lifetime, of my heart being blown open, of taking in this exquisite being that was going to be with me for the rest of my life. And so I didn't know at that time, and I'm sure many of you have your own stories of the first time you witnessed your children or experienced becoming a parent, but I didn't know the level of, or the intensity, or the beauty of the gift that she was actually bringing me, because I thought that I was the gift to her. I mean, here I was gone and I had adopted this child, and it was like I was gifting her, and yet that wasn't the case. When I began to recognize the gift that she was giving me, the gift of self-love, the gift of self-reflection, because I began to recognize that anything that I didn't love outside, especially anything that I was judging in her or didn't love in her, was a place inside of me that I judged or did not love. So at one point in my parenting, I made a decision. Either I was going to try to control and fix and change her to try to get her to mirror back to me what I wanted to see, or I was going to receive the gift of her reflection to see inside of myself where I had shut down on my own vulnerability or had become self-aggressive towards me. So I want to support each of you to recognize that part of the gift of your children is that they will bring you the mirror. They will show you the aspects of yourself that maybe you learned or were trained to hate and not take care of as a child, because it caused so much discomfort in your caregivers. And yet, if you're willing to receive the gift instead of passing on the gift of the family, right, the family heritage or the template, if you're here because you really want to shift the paradigm here and to receive the gift, and therefore offer your child the gift of your loving heart, of who you truly are, then this is your opportunity. And it is not easy, because it really requires that we step out of a role, a parenting role that gives us kind of permission to see our children in the negative light, or just see them, and not as a gift. We see them in a way as a curse, right? Because they keep activating stuff and they keep reflecting and they embarrass us and they trigger us in feeling helpless and powerless and rejected. And so when that happens over and over, we don't have a way to work with ourselves. We may begin to see them as a curse. And yet I'm going to support you this week is to see anything that arises in you in relation to your children, and imagine looking in the mirror, that it is a gift. And the gift that you can offer back to your children is to stay with yourself and to begin to love the parts of yourself that you learned as a child to repress. And of course that was smart. We're not taking apart anything of your strategies. They were all really smart as children because that's what you need to do to survive. And yet, if we don't want to pass those on, if we are here for the reason of opening our hearts and becoming more and more conscious of our part in the dynamic, I support you in seeing anything that arises, especially in relation to your children, as a gift to you to be able to turn back in and relax the judgment, the self-aggression, and to offer yourself the tender, loving kindness that you have in your big, beautiful heart. And if you forget, just remember back to that moment when you first met your child. I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment when they put her in my arms. My heart blew open. And of course, it blew open for her, but that was the gift. My heart began to blow open for myself. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.